Hello and welcome to our channel. Today's topic is malaria. But why malaria is such an important topic? Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites that are transmitted to people through the bites of the Anopheles mosquitoes. And it is responsible for approximately 435,000 deaths per year. It directly impacts the economy, affecting workforce and causes various limitations and struggles within the country. Not to mention that inequality also plays, Africa having about 92% of total deaths, which is equal to approximately 400,000 people. Something even more overwhelming are the amount of cases which keep growing as years go by. In 2016, about 217 million cases were identified. In 2017, 291 million cases, and in 2019, 228 million cases. Such huge quantities, in spite of countries such as the US investing approximately $3.1 billion in its research. For that reason, we were interested in making research regarding new technologies for malaria. Since current technologies are inefficient in order to address this humanitarian issue.
Consequently, we decided to establish our hypothesis as local production equipment can substitute overpriced equipment for disease diagnostic. And our research question asks what kind of preventive surveillance and diagnostic technologies can help reduce the impact of the malaria epidemic on populations in sub-Saharan Africa. And the following objectives are: number 1, promote the awareness of malaria disease in communities for its adequate treatment and prevention. Number 2, the implementation of new vaccines. Number 3, search for the implementation for more preventive systems. And if our hypothesis is correct, there will be good consequences for reducing the deaths and the spread of malaria. Through this technological advancement, the security of the population will have a positive impact. The spread of the disease will be reduced and therefore also the deaths will be prevented. It is also important to highlight that people will be better informed regarding the
Malaria is an international issue and it must be treated as such. Cross-border communication needs to be implemented in order to solve quicker this problem. Currently, many decisions such as invention of new vaccines, prevention systems, and modification of genetics, among others, have been developed. They haven't been arriving to the accomplished or to the better result for all the people, but new technological advances must be affordable and easy to use, enough to solve such a difficult disease. The sole power of Zanzibar isn't enough. That's why teamwork with other countries is so important. As soon as the communication is being globalized, overall more resources will be at reach. More ideas, better technology, and efficient systems can be created to deal with malaria. A change is not made by one, but by many with a common goal. That's why our research, as I already said, contains the genetic modification of mosquitoes. So these are the main reproducers of this disease, so this genetic may make them not have kids so they don't continue spreading the disease. Others such as papers, so you can have a fast and efficient diagnosis, but as everything in Africa, they don't get to the people that need it.
Okay, so what's our experiment exactly? We're gonna try to make much more efficient the paper centrifuge developed by Stanford University. We're gonna be taking 3 different diameter measurements: 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and 20 centimeters. The solution we're gonna use is gonna be water and coffee, which we're gonna be spinning in these 3 different scenarios for approximately 1 minute long. Our independent variables were the material, the length of the diameter, the time it took, and the liquid itself. Our dependent variables would be the velocity at spin set and whether or not the liquids separate correctly. Our schedule that we took was that our activity was made on February 16th, every research itself. The designs of the further solution and implementations were on February 28th. The first test was taken in March 6th. The rework was on the 18th. Our second test was on March 27th, and we're planning to make the deployment on April 16th. It is also important to mention that we have a mentor which was helping us on the experiment itself. His name is Jonathan Rivas. He's a specialist in biomedicine and a professor at Tecnológico Monterrey Campus Guadalajara. He was gonna help us by lending us some blood so we could actually carry this experiment with actual blood in the microscope and actually see how it works perfectly. Nevertheless, with this situation of the coronavirus and everything, it's not possible. So we're actually substituting the blood with water and coffee. Another thing important to mention is that it was very difficult to find the time for the fourth of us to actually carry this experiment out, to be together in a place and do it and take results and everything. So it was very challenging. It got worse with the virus, but we are actually making the best of it and getting this experiment done correctly as possible. Moreover, we decided to establish the following type of research. We decided it was a quasi-experimental because we're realizing deep investigation about malaria, the disease, their treatments, institutions, improvements, and of course focusing a little more on Africa. We also included research on economic technology developed by the Stanford University, this paper centrifuge that could actually help a lot. We're just gonna try to make it much more efficient, and we're gonna see if this new economical technology could be used and implemented in different parts of the world so that malaria diagnostics was finally arrived to a better conclusion, and the money spent on the research of the malaria would go to another place to actually make a much better solution for the treatment itself.